Hello, my name is Jim DeMayo, and this is A Course in Miracles. Today's lesson provides us with a challenge that's a little different from the others. The other lessons have been asking us to let go of what we don't really need. The ego, fears, those kind of things. Reactive thoughts. But today he begins with something probably even more challenging. To accept what's positive about us. Lesson 35. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Today's idea does not describe the way you see yourself now. It does, however, describe what vision will show you. Vision is what occurs when we trust the Holy Spirit. Vision comes when we let go of seeing and want to be shown. In the showing, almost like a movie that we're watching, vision comes. It is difficult for anyone who thinks he is in this world to believe this of himself. Yet the reason he thinks he's in this world is because he does not believe it. I think the term today that we're used to is of this world. And when we don't believe that we're part of God's holy mind, and we don't believe that we're a thought in the mind of God, yeah, we may hang on to that human identity of flesh and bone, right? Body and soul, as it were in the old song. You will believe that you are part of where you think you are. So, indeed, it's up to us all along as to what we decide, what we believe in. That is because you surround yourself with the environment you want. Surround ourselves with pain and suffering. Surround ourselves with light and joy. And you wanted to protect the image yourself that you have made. That's why we have the environment. That's why we see what we see. Vision doesn't do this. Vision simply clears the way to gaze upon reality. The image is part of this environment. What you see while you believe you are in it is seen through the eyes of the image. This is not vision. Images cannot see. The idea for today presents a very different view of yourself. Indeed, don't you think? By establishing your source. Notice the capital S. This is a word he likes to use to help us understand better who, what God is. It establishes our source, it establishes your identity, and it describes you as you must really be in truth. It's really the end of the metaphysics, the end of the questioning. This is the answer. Establishing ourselves for what we must really be. We use a somewhat different kind of application for today's idea because the emphasis for today is on the perceiver rather than on what he perceives. For each of the 3 5-minute practice periods today, begin by repeating today's idea to yourself. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Then close your eyes and search your mind for the various kinds of descriptive terms in which you see yourself. Include all the ego-based attributes which you ascribe to yourself, positive or negative, like man, woman, husband, carpenter. Desirable or undesirable, grandiose or debased, all of them are equally unreal. Because you do not look upon yourself through the eyes of holiness. Look upon yourself through the eyes of holiness, and you'll see the holiness in a brother, no matter how he or she is acting. In that holiness, you'll know exactly how to proceed, what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say, etc. In the earlier part of the mind-searching period, you will probably emphasize what you consider to be the more negative aspects of your perception of yourself. Towards the latter part of the exercise period, however, more self-inflating descriptive terms may well cross your mind. Try to recognize that the direction of your fantasies about yourself does not matter. Illusions have no direction in reality. They are merely not true. Remember, all is not illusion. Actually, all is the reality God created. We're just trying to get the vision of it. We're not going to everything is unreal. A suitable unselected list for applying the idea for today might be as follows. I see myself as imposed on. I see myself as depressed. I see myself as failing. I see myself as endangered. I see myself as helpless. I see myself as victorious. I see myself as losing out. I see myself as charitable. I see myself as virtuous. You see, these are all the transitory things. How can what's transitory be actually considered real? You should not think of these terms in an abstract way. They will occur to you as various situations, personalities, and events in which you figure cross your mind. Pick up any specific situation that occurs to you. Identify the descriptive term or terms you feel are applicable to your reactions to that situation. Use them in applying today's idea. After you have named, but my mind is part of God's, I am very holy. So we're seeing what comes to mind and then we're practicing the correction here. During the longer exercise periods, there will probably be intervals in which nothing specific occurs to you. Do not strain to think up specific things to fill the interval, but merely relax and repeat today's idea slowly until something occurs to you. Although nothing that does occur should be omitted from the exercises, nothing should be, quote, dug out, kind of a psychologist term, with effort. Neither force nor discrimination should be used. As often as possible during the day, pick up a specific attribute or attributes you are ascribing to yourself at the time and apply the idea for today to them, adding the idea in the form stated above to each of them. If nothing particularly occurs to you, merely repeat the idea to yourself with closed eyes. My mind is part of God's. I am holy. By the way, this applies to others. He'll get to it later, but if you want to get to it now, whatever attribute you see in somebody else, just simply say, his mind is part of God's. He is holy indeed. Peace to you and your holiness.